Welcome to Lamination Updates. Actually, what I've got is a new lamination and an update to an existing lamination. So what we're looking at right now is Stealth, which is a pretty slick looking boat. It is our lightest lamination. Boats are coming in the low 30s for tandems, in the low 20s for solos. This Northwind Solo is 23 pounds. It's got a carbon and negra co-woven exterior, and so we're aiming for stiffness as well as durability. It's got Kevlar on the interior, just like all our boats do. It's got E6 trim standard. It's the only way Stealth boats come, no options. And that means it's only available on the Northwind 18, Northwind 17, Northwind 16, Polaris, Northwind Solo, and Trillium. It's also got E6 parts standard, so you can see the carbon thwart and carbon seat. And then we're going to jump over, to this 80K that's in process and look at a carbon thwart, the carbon yoke. And the cool thing I want to point out about this yoke is that line down the middle, because had we just wrapped this yoke in a sheet of carbon, we wouldn't have a very durable yoke. But that line is actually 2 layers of carbon because of the way we built the yoke. And the net effect is we've got essentially an I-beam construction. And so this yoke is notably more durable than it would be as just a simple basic carbon wrap because of that I-beam aspect of things. And that just represents what we want to do on E6 across the board. We could build this yoke a little bit lighter, but it wouldn't be nearly as durable. And it's not to say you need, an incredibly durable yoke for an E6 boat, but we still don't want to build things that sacrifice strength, all strength for lightness. And that's kind of the same thing to say about why we're through bolting and why we can through bolt through the gunnels as well. The fact that we can drill these holes and hang your body weight off of those 4 bolts is indicative of how strong those gunnels actually are, even though they're carbon. And so that's our goal when we're building E6, is to build them light, but still to build them tough. If you want to get a blacklight or a starlight with E6 trim, we've been doing that for a while. If you want to add E6 parts to it, that's fair game too. So that's ways to shave a little bit of weight off each one of those laminations, because the E6 parts will knock a pound or 2 off of a blacklight or a starlight that's weighed with aluminum trim as well. The cool thing about the through bolting is the fact that you can adjust seat height so easily. That's why we've left the wood seat drops in there. You can change this to a kneeling seat. You can customize to whatever height you want. If you want to move thwarts around, no problem. It's all easy to do. It's just as easy to do on as it would be on a wood or an aluminum trim. We've actually got an adhesive that's black if you really need to fill holes in that and things as well. Starlight is a lamination that holds up to the Boundary Waters, Temagami, Algonquin, Quetigo, you name it. All the outfitters up there are renting Starlight boats. Stealth is not an outfitter lamination. It's a wet-footed lamination. It's a lamination that requires care. And as such, if you go down the Stealth road, you want to be aware of the fact that this is not your everyday. We designed Starlight to handle the everyday uses of lake country paddlers. We designed Stealth for the person that's a little bit more discerning and careful paddler, because discerning in the sense of you really value the lightweight, and careful in the sense of you understand the fact that this is less indestructible because there's less material in it than even a Starlight. And so that's Stealth, and it's a really sweet lamination for the right people, right paddlers, I should say. And then we've got WhiteGold. And this is an update to WhiteGold. So WhiteGold is now available and has been available for the last little while only on 80Ks and 80K LTs, contrary to my previous video. We've changed the building process to keep the cost down. It just wasn't cost effective We didn't want to raise the price of white golds to the point where they got so close to Starlights that there'd be no reason to go with a white gold. And simultaneously, we didn't want to lose money on the deal either. So, net effect, white gold disappeared on everything except the little boats, because we can still manage to do these with a different building process and make them cost effective. And we're committed to keeping them cost effective up against a kayak. You know, if you've been a plastic kayak paddler, or if your mother or son or sister or whatever paddles plastic kayaks, have them check out the 80K. Have them check out a WhiteGold 80K, because you know what? They're not that much more expensive. They're a heck of a lot lighter. You get all the performance that you would out of a composite instead of all the underperformance that you do out of polyethylene. And so it's worth, that's why we've kept the white golds around. That's why we've kept white gold in the little boats. And that is the lamination updates. So thanks for listening to me, and see you on the water.